Hi, I'm Jackie with Veterans Rideshare, and today I've got a special guest. This is Kari Niemi, and today we're going to find out why is she called the Kraken? What is it exactly that she does for Veterans Rideshare that has given her this incredible nickname? So Kari's officially our billing manager, and she's finally nicknamed the Kraken. I'll let her tell you the story, but part of it is because she's really good at getting money. So she plays a very active role in supporting our mission with Veterans Rideshare. So please help us welcome Kari. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Jackie. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. First off, what I think is pretty amazing, I just have to mention, is we both work remotely from home. I'm in Maryland, you're in Las Vegas, and
Yes,
we both had snow.
we did. Not next. It's going to be 70 degrees next week, which is crazy. We had a snow day last Friday, and now it's going to be 70 degrees. Crazy weather.
It is crazy. It is crazy. But the point I would love to make is what I think is so amazing is that Veterans Rideshare seems to find all these amazing people all over the country. And here we are getting connected with a similar mission. And you've been at it longer than I have. I'm kind of the new kid on the block here. So I'd love to hear a little bit about your story, Kari. So can you tell us how long you've been part of the Veterans Rideshare team and mission?
Sure. I've been with Chris and Scott for almost a little over 2 years now. I started, a friend of mine introduced me to Chris and Scott, and it was a match made in heaven. I fell in love with their bromance. And I started out part-time because I was caregiving for my mom, and it just fit the bill for me. I could, do my own hours so I could take care of her. And then sadly, my mom passed away last year, and I was very worried because I need to work full-time. So I talked to them, and they said, oh my gosh, please come full-time. Your family, we love you. So for the last year and a couple of months, I've been full-time, and I just love it. And it's so easy for me to work from home. It just fits the bill for me. It works perfectly.
Oh, absolutely. That's so wonderful that you were able to get connected with them and then walk into this role and do it on your own terms. I know that most of the folks that I've spoken with so far are all based in California. So the
Yes.
fact that you and I are kind of the two outliers,
Yeah.
pretty special. But I do understand that just in enabling people to work from home, they're giving you that flexibility and that freedom. And so when you're happy, then you're doing a better job, and that's even better for the VRS mission.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about what you officially do for Veterans Rideshare?
Well, it's funny because the mission obviously is very important to help veterans, and that's near and dear to my heart, but you have to have funding to do the mission. So that's kind of my key role, is that I bring in the money so we have the funding to help the veterans and help the company grow so we can hire more veterans. So basically that's what I do. We do services and we get paid. There's a contract and we get paid for them. So I'm chasing money all day long, but I love doing that. That's kind of been always my thing. So I'm excited to be able to do it so we can fund the mission so we can keep on going forward.
That's fantastic. And you are right. We definitely need the money to keep that mission moving because there's certainly the heart behind it. There's the inspiration, there's the motivation, but you help with the money. So how exactly did you get to be known as the Kraken?
Oh my gosh. One day Chris just out of the blue called me the Kraken, and I'm like, who's the Kraken? And my husband was in the background going, how do you not know the Kraken? And Chris is going, how do you not know who Kraken is? I'm like, I don't. So Chris sent me a YouTube video of the Kraken, and I'm like, I'm a monster? Because the Kraken, I believe, is a monster. He's like, no, you're the monster collector. So that's how I am the Kraken, and that's how everybody refers to me as the Kraken.
Oh my gosh. So as soon as there's a collection issue, do they say, release the Kraken?
Yeah. And that's what he says if I'm having a hard time. He goes, just release the Kraken. I'm like, oh gosh.
That is so good. So now you're this mythical creature come to life.
Yes.
And clearly you're very effective.
You're not really a monster.
Well, and what I like about Chris Pozak, the president of Veterans Rideshare, is that he does have these amazing terms of endearment. As you said, not only do he and Scott West have a bromance, as Scott said in my interview, but when I spoke with Tony Turner last, he called her the queen of everything. So
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful. There's this sense of family as well. It's not just a job.
Completely. The camaraderie between all the employees, whether you work near or far or at the compound in Ramona, is incredible. Everybody, it is like family. Everybody's worried about everybody if something's going on. We celebrate everybody's happiness, and it just really works. It's really a good thing. The camaraderie and the family aspect is awesome, and it makes you want to do a good job and want to come to work every day.
That's so important. And then that only helps the work and it helps the veterans going from there. If the employees are happy, then the customers are happy. And you said that you previously worked also in the non-emergency medical transport side.
I did. When I first came on board, I worked mainly with Scott on the NEMT side, non-emergency medical transportation. And then I knew Chris and I knew what was going on, but I didn't know to the large scale that it was going on. And then about 6 months later, I kind of got involved in more of the trucking side of it too. So now I do collections for both. And I really learned then, I knew when I first came on what the mission was and how important it was to, help employ veterans and help them get on their feet. But then once I came on board with the trucking side, it really just kind of all came together. And I really see how important the mission is. And it's near and dear to my heart. My father was a veteran. He served in World War II in Korea. My brother was an Army veteran. And I think that veterans are an often overlooked and unrecognized population. And I think it's incredible that we can help as many as we can.
I love that. I feel exactly the same way. Both of my grandfathers were in World War II. My dad was in Vietnam, and they certainly had the worst reception when they came back. I mean,
yes.
It was awful. And then my husband just got out of the Army just last month. So, yes, it is important. Yeah, I feel like being able to give back to those who have served and have put so much of their lives on the line or on hold for the country is very important. And so many of our veterans, when they come back and they transition out, they don't always know where to go, what to do, what their purpose or mission is. And that's one of the things I especially love about Veterans Rideshare is that we're putting veterans to work 1 mile at a time. And so anytime I meet somebody who's on that mission, I'm so excited to connect and see just what it is that you do as well to help the mission. I have to tell you that Chris also said that you are this really strong advocate for Veterans Rideshare, which I love. And he said you actually bleed VRS. I didn't ask him if he had a specific example, but is there something that you could think of that comes to mind that you're especially proud of or something that sticks out as an important moment for you with the company?
Well, the whole mission is just incredible. And I see every single day veterans in our trucks out, driving produce or whatever it is across the country. And I see our veterans, doing our NEMT transports. But there's one story, and it's always stuck with me, and that's when I might have some of the details a little fuzzy, but the story is still the same. I believe it was spouses were deployed in Alaska, and they had a baby, and the grandparents had never got to see the baby because they were deployed, and it's expensive to fly to Alaska. And VRS funded the grandparents' trip to Alaska so they could see their grandbaby. I mean, that's one of many stories that I know of, but that one always stuck in my mind because I think family is so important. And I just think it's just an incredible mission. Like I said, I think the veteran population is often overlooked or unrecognized, and we're bringing this to the forefront with all of the companies he has. And the mission is to help veterans, and that's so important.
Oh, definitely is. Have you met a lot of the team members with Veterans Rideshare? Have you been able to interact with anyone?
Funny, I never even met Chris Posek until last December at the Christmas party because I work remotely, but we're always on a call all day long, like you're in an office together. So I've talked to him, hundreds of times. And then I finally met him. It was just like, wow, this is really cool. And at that party, I met a ton of the team members that I don't usually see because I do work remotely. So it was really nice to be able to put faces to the names.
Oh, absolutely. I look forward
to faces to the names because I see their face, but to put their body in front of me, I guess.
Exactly. So what is your favorite part about working with Veterans Rideshare? Is it the mission, the people? What would you say?
I think it's the mission. And also, I worked in corporate America for a long time, and you were kind of just a number. Like, you had your employee ID number, but you never really spoke to the owners or the higher ups because they were all too busy, or they were top heavy, so many chiefs, not enough Indians. And with Veterans Rideshare and VRS trucking, the communication is so open. Chris is always there. He'll always take my call or my text. Scott too. I mean, Scott and Chris are just a huge part of why I stay. I think they're both incredible people. And I think the communication and the camaraderie, again, they make you want to come to work. They make you want to do a good job. And the mission of helping veterans is just like, the silver lining on everything. Because if you can help one person, that's awesome. But we help many people every day. And I think that's so important.
I agree. It's so nice to have work with purpose. It's not just a regular job. And you know that you're doing
9 to 5, you go in, clock out, and don't care. This job, you don't really ever clock out because you're focused on helping the veterans and helping people have a good life. And that's important.
Oh, wonderful. And so I understand that someone else in your family also works for Veterans Rideshare. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
My lovely daughter, Jessica, works in driver support. She was looking for a job, and I think she came in November, and she's doing a really good job, and they just welcomed her with open arms, and it's just incredible. And also, my sister works part-time on the NEMT side at night, and my best friend, who's like my soul sister, one of my best friends, she is an admin. She does admin work for me at night.
Wow, that's amazing. So it really is a family affair.
It is. My sister-in-law is getting ready to retire in June, and she called me and she said, "So you're building that family empire. Is there anything for me?" I was cracking up.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Because everyone else I've talked to so far with my interviews with the Veterans Rideshare team, they've all said, we're like a family. We're like a family. And you've actually brought your family in, which shows just how much you trust this organization. And it's going to provide for those you care about and for those you may never get to know personally. But, again, that's serving our veterans.
It totally is family. And now, you're right, I have my family here too. So I wouldn't have recommended them for sure if I didn't think and believe in the mission and believe in the company.
Wonderful. And we are always hiring. You can go to veteransrideshare.com if you're looking for an employment opportunity. There's full-time, part-time. We have remote opportunities, just like Kari and myself, from 2 different sides of the country. So I have to ask, do you have a special skill or trick when it's time to release the Kraken? Do you have a method to the madness?
Well, kill them with kindness is kind of always how I do. Sometimes you have to get a little bit more stern or assertive, but really if you just work with people, you have a contract, we did the work. Sometimes there's issues, but you just get past it by communication, really. And this whole company is like that. Communication is key. And especially on the trucking side, we've gotten so much feedback from carriers and stuff that say, your communication is great. We love the updates. So that helps me to be able to collect the money because we did such a good job prior that it's really not an issue to collect the money. And it's just a matter of making sure you have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed and say, hey, you owe us this money. And, you don't have to be nasty or mean to collect money. You just have to, I do it with communication and kindness, basically. And it works.
Excellent. And then they keep doing business with us because if you didn't, it would be disastrous. Good.
Well, keep them coming.
I love it. That's wonderful. Was there anything else you'd like to add, Kari?
I don't think so. I'm thrilled to do this for Chris, and I love Chris and Scott, and the mission and their vision is incredible. And I hope to be a part of this journey for a long, long time. And I'm grateful to them for giving me the opportunity.
Absolutely. I share that as well. And it's so wonderful to meet you. So everyone, please thank Kari again. She's been wonderful. She's our billing manager, AKA the Kraken for Veterans Rideshare, who keeps that cash flow coming in so we can employ veterans and we can change the world one step at a time, and we can hire veterans, put them back to work 1 mile at a time. So thank you so much.
All about.
Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. Kari, thank you again for your time.
Thank you, Jackie.
And have a wonderful day.
You too. Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.